Alright, so what we have here is the Project 4, which is a follow-up to Project 3, and just like with Project 3, different directions were, thought of, approached, considered, and I decided that really I would just focus on more of the animation side, something like a cinematic level or some interactivity that wasn't planned in the first place, or some mechanic that wasn't even thought to be implemented in the beginning. Wasn't really gonna benefit me the way I thought it might. Instead, what would really benefit me is just to take the natural next step, which is to further on animating with these programs and seeing how they interact with each other. Last project, I used Unreal Engine's animation editor. Not very good at what it does. It's not really made for it. Really, what you should be doing is using Blender or Maya, and from what I've noticed is that Maya is good at modeling for Unreal and Blender is really good for animating with it, so that's exactly what I did. And here's the animations that I've made down here. I did edit a couple of the Unreal Engine animations that I kept, since as you might assume, these animations are quite laborious and take a lot of time, especially if you're trying to make them look good. But let's take a look at what we did here. I did actually make a sort of a new mechanic that wasn't addressed before, that I think will be quite impressive once it is shown. First, we're going to take a look at just the simple running animation that I made. I made it very slow, so you can see. And I think this animation, this is obviously, phase one, I suppose. And this is prototype, and I'm happy with it. Far less interference, like with the last one, but that's because this is made from scratch. I made this animation, and obviously we have an edited version of this one. Keep the hands up. It makes a lot more sense since the running animation has the hands up. So no longer keeping the hands close to the chest. That makes a lot more sense. Although jumping animations, including a startup and a jump loop, are it would take a very long time to do one of those. So I decided to just edit those. But I made a running animation with dual pistols, and it looks just fine. I've, if you couldn't tell, top of that, I've also, you can see, I've done an idle animation. Sort of how the default Unreal character has, animation and breathing. I did mine a little bit more subtle. You can see it here. Sort of a subtle movement of the arms and shoulders. See that she's breathing. Now on to the real thing that I wanted to show you, is something I've added as a mechanic in this little demo, is idle animations. I've always loved idle animations. They're great. They make characters seem like they're not just mindless zombies. They give them a little personality, something to do when you're not making them move around. I have made 5, and every 5 seconds, which is a lot, which is fairly quickly, but we want to show these off. Every 5 seconds, one of these 5 animations will play, and before I show you the blueprint on how that works, we'll give you an opportunity to see these animations. So there you have it, all the animations that I made, and now we will look at the blueprints that makes it tick. Here is the line of blueprints that is causing the random idle animations to play. First we get the character moving, make sure that they're not moving, and then we cast the animation blueprint. The delay of 5 seconds is to make sure that it doesn't loop and just never stop once it plays the first random one. Here is the range to choose from, and this is the conditions, and this is what I've done here is a bit of jury rigging. All the tutorials that I have watched didn't tell me how to, didn't tell me what to do instead of this, but what I've done here is my idle animations are not meant to loop before they are done. They're supposed to play, and when they're done, then they stop. But what I did here is I assigned each animation to a delay that plays a specific amount of time in seconds, and that seconds is the amount of frames that animation is translated into seconds, 24 frames per second. So that's what I've done here, so that this way they do not overlap or play longer than they need to. And that is my project 4. Now that I have a system put into place, I have Blender as a reliable tool for animating for Blender. I now know how to blend animations together, and I have Maya to model for Unreal. And by the end of this, I am essentially becoming multilingual with 3 different softwares, which I'm quite happy with. Even if this goes slowly, step by step, I like the progress that's being made, and I can see the direction this is going in. If I had to take a guess on what would be next, it would be a, if not a better running animation. If I get a little froggy, I might, I'll obviously attempt that soon. But the actual next thing I can see being put into place in this little endeavor of mine is to get a couple solid jumping animations, and perhaps even a couple flipping animations. So that's where we're going from here.